self-awareness plus habit. Just knowing something is not going to change your life, but also just doing stuff without knowing is not going to change your life. However, that being said, sometimes our mood follows our action, right? We can't always wait for all of the self awareness to plug into habits. And I think when someone is really wanting to change this, let's say they're listening to this episode, or maybe they've read the book or parts of it, and they're just like, you know what, this is never going to happen for me. There's just too much work to do. I'm really busy. I don't have time to sit and think about myself. I can't sit and journal. So for people who are in that mind state, I always say, let's start with the lowest hanging fruit. And sometimes micro habits are the lowest hanging fruit that can lead you into a little bit more of like a reflection or introspection and self awareness state. So if your life is very noisy, but you're feeling burnt out, I think my most like, let's quickly integrate this into our life so that you can clear up some space, emotional space for you, is to really make an intention to undercommit. Like that's my first recommendation to people. Like if you want to make changes in your life, try to make some space. And space is emotional and time. So see if over the next 2, 3 weeks, you can just undercommit to one less thing. Can you just make one free spot in your calendar? Do that for 2 weeks, do that for 3 weeks. And once you have 20 minutes of a day that's given back to you, I would encourage people to do some self reflection. There's a lot of journal prompts in the book itself, but of course, you can find it anywhere. It doesn't have to be through my book. But start reflecting on, why do I do the things that I do? Answering that question is really important. And the part B to that question is, do I need to do all the things that I do? Toxic productivity puts you on autopilot. And now you're just doing things because you've been doing them. And you don't question why you're doing them. You're not questioning if it's helpful anymore for you. You're not thinking about, can somebody else do this? Right? We are so caught up in perfection control. So only I can do this. Nobody can do it as well as me. And we're so caught up with shame. I have to be the person to do this. I would be a bad person if I didn't do this. And the inner critic is constantly telling you that you're not doing enough, you're not doing enough. So we don't question why we do the things we do. So once you can create a little bit of reflection space in your calendar, ask yourself the question, why do I do the things that I do? And do I have to be the one who does them? I call that like an audit. But you can't just dive into that reflection if you're really busy. So the precursor is say yes to one less thing.